Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is our top 10 of the year. The vehicles that we drove, first of all, they have to be either all new or vastly improved, and we had to have actually driven them in 2024. So how are we doing it this year?
Well, we're going to actually, from 1 to 9, we are going to draw out of a bag. We're not going to do it in alphabetical order this year. However, we will pick our number one Motormouth car of the year. And guess what?
We're sitting in it. We're sitting in it. Can you see? Can you guess?
Hopefully not. We don't guess right.
The blue might be a giveaway. But anyway, so this is the Motormouth car of the year. We're sitting in it, so let's get into it. This looks to me like a wine bag that's been cut down. Is that true?
So clever.
All right, so put your hand in there and let's get our first one.
First one is the Toyota Camry.
Wow, this one is great because not only is it the best-selling car in the United States, it has the highest quality scores from J.D. Power and others. So yeah, the all-new Camry for 2020, it's actually 25, but we drove it in 2024. What a great product.
Great product. It's got the 5th generation Toyota hybrid system. Toyota packed it with standard features. In fact, we talked to the PR team and they said, you know what, we needed to do it because sedans just don't sell as well as SUVs. And so they've priced it competitively. It handles really well. And that XSE model has got the Sport Tune suspension. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, so what they have is a nice spectrum of really quite basic. In Canada, the base model is called the SE. It's the sportier looking trim. And it's a nice handling vehicle. The 5th generation hybrid system, as Andrea mentioned, absolutely makes a difference. And there's a lot of value in here, including the fact that you can get all-wheel drive for places in North America where you get snow. And that's why it continues to be the best-selling mid-size sedan in North America.
In some cases, depending on the brand, you can actually get the Camry at a better price point than some sedans in the compact class. Okay, Zach, your pick.
Oh, another Toyota. The Toyota Crown Signia.
Oh man, when I first got in that, and I think Zach feels the same way, we sat in it, I was like, what is this? Is this a Toyota? Are you kidding me? Really could be badged as a Lexus model. And what about the station wagon vibe?
Yeah, it's got a long flat roof, similar to what you would see in a station wagon, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
And different than the Camry, this one is using the 4th generation hybrid system from Toyota and not the newer 5th generation that the Camry gets. We asked the chief engineer why. They talk in circles and they say it was the right fit for this vehicle. So that might be a tiebreaker for you, whether you go Camry or you go Crown Signia. But this is a really nicely packaged product.
Yeah, it handles well. It's a hybrid. I just feel like that Signia is just such a special vehicle in the Toyota lineup. It's a Crown, so Toyota had to really come to the table with making it feel a little bit more luxurious than some of their other models. You see that with the Crown sedan as well.
There is a difference between Canada and the United States. In Canada, Crown Signia is top trim. That's all you get. In the United States, you get the XLE and the top trim. So for more price-conscious buyers, that option is there. And it comes with smaller wheels, and some people might like that.
Let's see what we've got here. The Ford Ranger.
Wow, I really enjoyed the Ford. We didn't do Toyota. We skipped to Ford. And I thought they did a fantastic job on this. It's nicely styled on the outside and the interior amenities are great. It still comes with a turbo 4-cylinder as the base engine, but the nice thing, Andrea, is the 2.7-liter V6 EcoBoost that's available on F-150. They plumb that in there.
Yeah, and whether you get those two powertrains or you get the Raptor, it's nice to see different options that are available. I am really impressed with the Ranger. I've always been a big fan of Tacoma, but I find the rear seat to be really uncomfortable. The Ranger is a different story, much better for a pickup truck. There's also clever storage solutions. Like, this is a really well thought out interior design. So if you are in the market for a pickup truck, really check out that Ranger. We're impressed with it.
Okay, so the lead on this was Australia. Ford of Australia took the lead for engineering and design. The Ford Ranger isn't just the best-selling pickup truck in Australia. It's the best-selling vehicle. They love what they call utes down there. That's a pickup truck. And you can really tell that Ford said, you do what you think is best. You know the market. And they took those results and brought them to North America. And I'm impressed with the results.
What I'd love to see from Ford is a hybrid option. It would be nice to see an electrified vehicle. You can see that the Ford Maverick has been such a massive hit for Ford. So in that category that the Ranger is in, it would be nice to have something electrified. Okay, Zach.
Lincoln Nautilus.
Terrific hybrid powertrain. There are some things I don't love about the Nautilus, like all of the screens. It can be overwhelming. But that hybrid powertrain, I really hope that Lincoln brings more hybrids to market using it. It is so good.
It's quiet, it's smooth, it's powerful, it's very fuel efficient, and they did a really, really nice job. This vehicle is made in China and imported into North America. So that's why you see the big screens from side to side. Is this is something that is very popular with Chinese domestic brands, and they're trying to inject some of that enthusiasm into this vehicle for the North American market. It's not to our taste. It
No.
might be to yours, though.
Comfortable too. Lincoln makes some pretty comfortable seats, as does Ford. I just think the whole driving experience, if I forget about the screens, I just really enjoyed it for the week that we had it. It's very well done.
Interestingly, though, Andrea, there's more than one or two. We did a Ford and a Lincoln, more than a couple domestics on this list, which is really surprising to us, just how well some of these brands have shot through for this past year.
Yes. I like this picking out of the wine bag. The Lexus GX.
Well, this one wasn't hard to do compared to the Land Cruiser. A lot of you might be like, why wouldn't you choose Land Cruiser? Why not, Andrea?
Well, we're not crazy about the powertrain. Yes, it's a hybrid, and I think that's great, but we found the four-cylinder to be a little bit buzzy. It gets louder. It's just not my favorite. I do like the exterior design of the Land Cruiser, but the interior, I mean, for the price point, especially in Canada, it could feel a little bit more upscale.
And that's what you get with the GX. So in order to get around the buzzy engine, they plumbed in a V6 a twin turbo with very good results, much smoother and quieter. And then the interior of the Lexus is much, much nicer, bigger screens, nicer materials. And when you look at that top Land Cruiser and then you look at the base model of GX, trust us on this, make the stretch and get the Lexus because the experience is so much nicer.
And the boxy, bold design, it just has this great road presence. It's got all the updated technology, standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I find the GX to be comfortable. I like the commanding seating position. But I think for a Lexus, it could have a little bit more of an upscale feel to it. Better than Toyota grade for sure. But when you compare it to some other competitors, they just feel more upscale inside.
It wouldn't be hard to beat the Land Cruiser interior. That's basic. This is an interesting one. It's the Mazda CX-50 hybrid. And whose hybrid system do they use there?
They've got the whole Toyota powertrain, same engine, same hybrid system. It's bulletproof. So it's nice to see that in the Mazda CX-50 hybrid. Now, it is slightly different than something like the RAV4. It is more engaging to drive. It's kind of fun for a hybrid. It's very nimble, but it does get a little bit louder, just like the RAV4 does.
Yeah, so they took the RAV4 hybrid system out. They put it in the Mazda. This is similar in shape, actually, to the Crown Signia we talked about a little bit earlier with the flat roof, a bit of a wagon vibe to it. The CX-50 has that as well. Interestingly, though, the gas model that's already been on sale for a year or two now, they actually had to raise the body up in order to make room for the Toyota hybrid system they're using. So the black plastic cladding around the wheels and along the bottom of the vehicle is slightly thicker. So it's maybe one of those things you don't notice until we point it out. But Andrew is absolutely right. It's a great proven hybrid system. They get to use it at Mazda to get great fuel efficiency, but there are some things they didn't change and we're kind of disappointed about.
I think the seats for sure, they need to be more comfortable. We did speak to the product planner about it, and he has taken that back to Mazda to try and sort out. The seats need to be more comfortable, and I feel they need to have more thigh support. The seats are quite short, at least for me. Definitely something that you have to try out to make sure that you find it comfortable enough. The other thing is they loaded it up in Canada with standard features. Good value with the CX-50 hybrid. The US doesn't have as many standard features,
And
but
some features they don't even get,
some
right?
features they don't even get.
So we are sitting in the Motormouth Car of the Year. That's coming up after the number 9 pick. And we have to have driven it in 2024, and it has to be all new or vastly improved for 2024. So
You
getting,
have to like it.
well, it's got to make the list. It's got to make the cut. And it wasn't a strong year this year. It actually wasn't the best year.
No.
All right.
The Chevrolet Traverse.
I would say that of products that impressed me the most that I wasn't expecting, I would say Chevy Traverse is very, very high on the list. I went into it thinking, okay, it's a new Chevrolet Traverse. It's a 3-row midsize SUV. There's loads of those in the marketplace, but this one really stood out for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and also that base model, Chevrolet's added more standard features to the Traverse because their research shows that that's what consumers want. So they're providing a lot of value, and it's one of the lower priced vehicles within that 3-row SUV segment. It's one of the biggest in this class as well. And I like the updated technology. There's 3 trims to choose from. And actually, one of my favorite is the Z or the Z71 with the smaller wheels and all-terrain tires.
We were impressed on road by how refined and quiet it was. Sure, you can get the RS model with the bigger wheel and tire, but you get a little bit more feedback for that. But the other one is very, very comfortable. So the screens that we're showing you on the inside, that's the base screen. That's even if you get the base model, that's what you get. And that's one of the reasons why we were impressed with it. So they got rid of the 3.6-liter V6 that's being used by General Motors for all of their SUVs for years. And they've gone with a 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder with really good driving dynamics, a little bit noisy at times.
Yeah, we did find that on the highway, depending on also the road that you're on. I think, though, overall, it's a good product. I like the exterior design. It's got some good rugged looks to it. I can see why it is so popular. We've had many viewers reach out and have purchased the Traverse, the LT model, that base model, because they found that it had a lot of value and it also offers the bench seat. Some of the other trims, you can only get captain's chairs. I actually think manufacturers should really offer a bench seat on all trims.
It's just a couple more to go. Let me get in there.
Going through our list quickly.
This one is the Buick Envision.
Okay, so that's another one that really surprised us too. First off, it's quiet. Noise, vibration, and harshness is very good. Buick has done a really good job at insulating the cabin. And then also, it does feel more upscale.
So if you watch the full-length review, and I'm telling you what I'll do is I'll put the links to each video in the description so you can go and watch them individually. I said it's kind of like the Commodore song. It's easy like Sunday morning. It's just easy to live with. It does everything well. It has no sharp edges. It's just comfortable. It's competent. It's quiet. It's refined. I think it's a really nice looking SUV as well. This one too is made in China,
Yeah.
and Buick has incredibly high quality scores.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Some people will throw out, oh, I used to own a Buick, or I had a Chevrolet, or I had a Lincoln, or I had a Ford. But things have changed. Ford still for sure needs to work on the reliability scores, but you see improvements with Buick and Chevrolet. They're really climbing the list, especially with JD Power. So I think overall that Buick Envision impressed me for its driving dynamics and just that smooth ride. Not a firm suspension. If you're looking for comfort, you'll find the Envision to really be a good one for you.
Just a great all-round.
Well, there's only one left on our list.
Before we get to our car of the year,
Let's see.
what is it?
Subaru Forester.
Yeah, the Subaru Forester, I don't think it's going to win the competition for best looks, Andrea.
No.
But it does all the Subaru stuff. It does what it says on the box.
But you know what? I think this is just my personal opinion, but I actually really like this new exterior design better than the outgoing model. For those who own the outgoing model, don't take offense, but I think this looks good. It's boxy. Subaru has a great all-wheel drive system, and a hybrid is on the way. I'm excited about that. So overall, comfort level is good. They've updated the technology. There's lots of cameras in that model as well to help you with parking, because there's no front and rear parking sensors in that.
Okay, so the big screen you see, that's on one up from the base. You get that pretty much on all trims. So that's technology they've used in other vehicles. Also used in the previous Forester is the same driveline. So they basically evolved this model using the same engine, using the same continuously variable transmission, updating the head unit as you see there with the big screen. What they didn't change, as Andrea mentioned, you've got great design, which means big windows, big doors. It's a vehicle that's easy to pile in and out of. And people who own these, they absolutely love them.
They rave about it. And here's some good news for Subaru. It's moved to the top of the list in the recent Consumer Reports study for most reliable brand. Subaru is #1. It took Toyota and Lexus
Off the top spot.
out of this top spot. And finally, our Motormouth Car of the Year is
The Honda Civic Hybrid. Now, we've driven the sedan and we're actually sitting in the hatchback. And okay, so I mentioned the Chevy Traverse impressed me. This one blew me away. I drove it and I'm like, wow, now that is how you do a hybrid. If you think about it, it's got the same powertrain as the larger Accord, but plumbed into a smaller form function in Civic. This thing's great.
This is terrific. Smooth, quiet. It's got plenty of power. I love the hatchback that we're sitting in that bright blue color. I think that it looks fabulous. The sedan, I'm a big fan also of the exterior design. I know some people think, it's a little bit boring, but I like it better than our 2017 Civic that we have.
The one thing about this hybrid system, it's quite different than the way Toyota goes about a hybrid. You don't get the sensation there's a hybrid at work at all. In fact, it can mimic shifts even though it's not really doing that. You feel the sensation. You put your foot into it, it goes. It's got great power. It's quiet. It's smooth. It's got all the handling dynamics you expect from a Honda.
Yeah.
I would actually say that other than the fact that the Civic Si is sold with a manual transmission only, if that was an automatic, I would take the hybrid. It's just as much fun in many ways as the Si.
And fuel efficient. And then you've got this interior. Honda went for a clean interior design when they first came out with the Civic. This carries through to many other models in the lineup. I like all the knobs and buttons. One thing that they could offer is a larger screen. This is a 9-inch screen that you get on the top trim. The base model could have a larger screen than 7-inch.
Yeah, the biggest problem with Civic is the price that they're charging for this hybrid system. We had at the beginning the Camry hybrid. For the same price as this top trim, you can get a Toyota Camry hybrid, all-wheel drive, a class bigger, also new. So it's one of those things you have to do a gut check. Is it worth the extra money? But the fun factor, this wins the fun factor.
And that's that SE Camry all-wheel drive model, whether it's in the US or in Canada. And that goes back to me saying Toyota pricing it just right in that mid-size category. But I think that Honda's got a real winner. What we need is a Honda HR-V with this hybrid system, and that will be a home run for Honda as well.
But if you go and drive one of these at the dealer and you don't come away impressed, I'll be very, very surprised because I drove it the first time and I brought it home and I said to Andrea, wow, that thing is really, really good. And I said the very first day, I think that might be our car of the year. And we hashed it out and we both agree.
Yeah, and the thing about the Civic, is that it offers a lot of space. The rear seat legroom is fantastic. Lots of space here in the front. What it needs is a height adjustment on the passenger side, but you do get power front seats on that top trim.
All right, so there it is. It's our top 10 of the year. It wasn't a stellar year for new car launches, to be honest with you. It was a good list. In other years, it's been much better, but that's the way it went for this past year. But this car of the year was easy to choose.
Yeah.
And what do we want to hear from people?
Well, I'd love to hear what you guys would pick. Was there something that really stood out for you? What category was it in? Would you still be interested in a sedan, or do you want an SUV hybrid? Type below. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Bring on 2025. We look forward to it.